Are you looking for your next game filled with zombified humans, rogue AI, and tons of really cool customizable weapons? Then look no further than Atomic Heart. This game that has been in development for a long time now is coming to us in late February, and man, I think it looks incredible. Welcome everybody to the Lumberjack Gaming channel, your place for friendly, quality gaming content. That's right, this brand new IP is coming to us, and man, it just looks so awesome. This is a game I've been anticipating for a really long time now, and it is finally almost here, so we're gonna talk about all the things that you need to know before you buy this game. From the enemies, to the weapons, to the multiple endings we're gonna experience, this game seems like it has a lot to offer. So let's not waste any more time and dive right on into it. Maybe one of your first questions is, what even is Atomic Heart? Well, imagine that you go back to the 1950 Soviet Union in an alternate history, and just after the Second World War, you saw a sudden explosion in technology, in the internet, in AI. That would be the setting that you're experiencing. You play as a character named Major Nechayev, who is a KGB agent who actually goes by the name P-3. He is literally mentally unstable. Finally, maybe somebody who's as mentally unstable as I am. And from the very beginning, he is sent out to investigate a robot facility that has gone completely silent. Now, I don't know about you, but this already seems like a bad idea. But the premise of this game, I am clearly already on board with. Now, when we talk about the design of this game, it is important to note that this is an open world experience. According to the development team, you'll have to get through the first area and then the world will be open to you. And when this world is open to you, you will experience a number of facilities and buildings and people with a ton of different side quests, with the central theme kind of being these labs that you're gonna find throughout the world that have tons of rogue experiments and failed machines. It's kind of the whole thing here. It's also worth noting that this is a seamless experience. I feel like most games that are coming out now do have this, but it is important to note that there are no loading screens, that the game is seamless from the beginning. Now, when it comes to the types of enemies that you're going to be experiencing, we've got a few different categories. The first one being, you guessed it, rogue robots. I mean, there are robots everywhere, and the cool designs of these things just make this game worth so much more. There's a lot of different unique machines that you're going to be facing that are all taken down in a different way. So it'll be on you as the player to figure out what is the best possible approach to taking down each machine that you're going to experience throughout the game. You'll also be facing mutants, which these things are just like terrifying. The real question to me is like, how much horror aspect of this game is there? Because I don't know, some of these things make me jump a little bit, but you know, I'm kind of a jumpy guy. And when it comes to the enemies, one of the things that I'm most excited about are these massive boss battles. Just have the coolest movement and abilities like this one here. Now, it wouldn't be that cool of a shooter game if there weren't cool weapons to shoot. We've already got a little bit of a look at things like our AK, which we can shoot bullets, a railgun for maybe taking down some stronger enemies, and a look at another weapon called a Dominator, which fires electrostatic balls of like energy. Definitely the coolest thing about this game is the combat style, just the all-out Doom-like feel to this game of shooting all of these enemies with all these different weapons. It's also a really cool thing that melee weapons have a particular role in this game as well, because as you use melee weapons, you're gonna have special abilities that can charge different weapons that you're going to be using throughout the game. A lot of people are saying this, and I would echo it as well, that this game has a very BioShock feel to it, which BioShock is one of my all-time favorite franchises, so this game already has my attention with the combat style, the gameplay style. Because you have a limited amount of ammo, you're going to have to learn how to effectively use all of your weapons together to get through different combat scenarios. Clearly, you can see from the footage as well that you are going to have special abilities at your disposal, and one of these comes in the form of the polymer glove. This is a glove that's going to allow you to use abilities like ice and fire and lightning. And all of these are going to be useful with the different types of enemies that you're going to be fighting all throughout the time of the game. You're also able to shoot like a polymer substance out of your hand that seems like it's going to be useful in chaining different attacks or boosting different element types as you use them on enemies that have been covered in this like polymer, adding a lot more variability to your fighting style, and I'm sure it's definitely going to be coming in handy with the different types of enemies that you're going to be facing throughout the game. But that's not all the polymer glove does, because you even get some telekinetic abilities, and when you're looting different areas, you have almost like a vacuum hand so that you can just, suck out all the goods and spend a little less time going drawer to drawer. Now, we've already talked about weapons, but it is important to know that there is a huge crafting element to this game. You have a device called the Chica 3.0, which is going to allow you to craft over 30 different melee weapons and guns. As you're making your way through this open world, you're going to find pieces and components on enemies that you defeat, and cassette cartridges and various modifications will help you use the environment to your advantage and exploit enemy vulnerabilities. So it seems like you're going to find yourself with some really cool melee weapons that you're going to be able to, form to yourself, whether you just put some blades on a stick or you add some mods to your weapons to make them more formidable against the enemies that you're going to be facing all throughout Atomic Heart. Now, while this is not a stealth game, I think that's pretty clear by the amount of combat that you're experiencing right now, there are stealth mechanics that are going to allow you to more quietly get rid of both the organic and the mechanical enemies without attracting too much attention. And this is going to be important at some points because, again, like we said earlier, you have a limited ammo count, which means there's going to be times that you're probably going to want to take down your enemies a little bit more quietly. Some of the robots you'll even be able to hack into, but you need to be careful because there are some robots that are going to be calling for reinforcements if you don't take them out quickly enough. So stealth is going to be an important way to, conserve ammo and make it so that reinforcements maybe don't end up breaking down your door. It also has been confirmed, and I thought it was worth noting that there have been Quicktime events that are confirmed to happen throughout this game. However, we've not yet seen anything, and maybe we won't see anything until the game actually releases. We also did get confirmation that there are technically 2 endings to this game. However, it doesn't seem like it's necessarily a right ending or a wrong ending or a good ending or a bad ending. It seems like this is more of an interpretive choice of what you think is right or wrong in the ending, so the developers purposely left it in there so that you can decide how the ending should go. And it seems like they're trying to do this to open up the conversation at the end of the game between people and what ending they chose. It'll be interesting to see what these 2 options are and if it'll be a hard decision or not. It's also important to know that this game is said to take about 20 hours to complete. Now, we don't have any confirmation yet as to whether this 20 hours includes all of the side missions or if this is just straight up gameplay. Now, if this seems like it might be a little bit short to you, maybe the next point will make it a little bit more worth it, because if you're on PC or Xbox, this is a Game Pass Day 1 release. Now, personally, I definitely wanted to play this game. This has been on my list for a long time now, but it's even more worth it to me that I can play it on Game Pass, because likely I'll definitely be finishing this within the first month of having a Game Pass. We also have gotten confirmation that there is 3 difficulty options to this game. There is a story mode, a medium, and a hard difficulty, and none of the modes that you pick are going to affect the story in any way. So if you're somebody who just wants a little bit more of the story action, then you can pick the story setting and it's not going to change any kind of ending that you get. However, it's hard to believe that there are any people out there that are playing this game for the story primarily that don't already enjoy this type of game. I could be wrong, and I'm sure that there's somebody out there that will. Also, if you're playing on current gen consoles, it has been confirmed that this game will run at 4K and 60 FPS. They primarily say that it will run best when you are in different dungeons or singular areas as opposed to the open world. Personally, it almost sounds like an excuse for the game to not run as well when you're in the open world, but let me know in the comments what you're thinking about this. Also, when it comes to the release for PS4 and Xbox One, they have said that this is definitely optimized for these consoles, these last gen consoles. I feel like we hear this a lot with new releases. However, it does make me a little bit skeptical, so it'll be interesting to see how these actually run on these older consoles if you're playing on them. It's also worth noting that there are 4 DLCs that are planned to be coming out after the release of this game, so you can buy the Atomic Pass that you'll have access to all of those, or you can always wait to get access to those DLCs. However, they have confirmed that these will include new territories, new quests, new puzzles, and brand new enemies with the game. Seems like they are trying to make this game last for the long haul, so personally, I can see myself really enjoying a game like this. Hopefully that works well. I would definitely invest in the DLC afterward. It's also worth noting that this is a single player only experience. The development team said that they just wanted to take the time to make sure that this game ran really well for a single player experience. Adding a multiplayer experience was going to be a lot, considering that this game has been in development for a little while now. So unfortunately, if you were looking at trying to play this with a friend, that will not be happening. As a bonus thing for fans of Doom out there, Mick Gordon, the musical composer for Doom, has worked on this project as well. So if you're a Doom fan, especially because of the music, this game might have just been elevated on your list a little bit more because, man, the soundtrack does sound incredible so far from what we've seen already. Personally, Personally, I think this game looks great. I'm really excited to play it. However, there are a couple of concerns that I have. Number one is the fact that they did make it a point to say that the game runs better in these kind of singular areas when it comes to, frame rate and running at 4K. I'm not always one that needs to have fantastic graphics to experience the game well. However, I found it a little bit weird that they pointed it out. Also, if you look at a lot of the gameplay, the enemies do seem a little bit bullet spongy. Considering that there's a lot of enemies that are coming at you in these scenes, I just don't want it to feel like it's taking forever to kill something. However, this could be earlier on footage from before you really upgrade your weapons to pack a better punch. Also, I'm not sure I'm crazy about P-3 because he gives a lot of cheesy one-liners. And listen, I'm all about being cheesy. I make dad jokes constantly, but sometimes these things can feel a little bit overwhelming, especially when you're experiencing them for 20 hours of gameplay at least.
Be careful. AUG 7 units are quite dangerous.
Oh, come on, it's freaking adorable.
Let me know in the comments what you're thinking about Atomic Heart. Are you picking it up? Personally, I'm excited to play this when it drops on day one. Here at the Lumberjack Gaming channel, we are all about building a positive community of gamers that want to encourage each other, want to game together, and support the passion that we all have for just great games and storytelling. So if that sounds like something you want to be a part of, make sure to hit that subscribe button. For news about more games that are coming up, check out this video and I'll see you over there.